More than 200 people are without power, and if you look closely here, you can see that downed power line there. He did pass through RDU, and the big question this morning is what airline did he travel? So since we've been here, we've been sticking close to the flight information. Breaking this morning, Raleigh police investigating an overnight shooting. Officers telling us they found a man shot in the ankle at the corner of St. Augustine Street and Pender Avenue. Two different narratives of what actually went down overnight. So right now, Ocean Isle is closed, not just because of the curfew in place, but because of the chaos as well. We're talking about fires and flooding. Orion continuing to batter the Carolina coast with this heavy wind and heavy rain. Time right now, 7:55. A small business here in the Triangle is making its Carolina comeback by helping senior citizens make theirs. I'm calling right now. I'm going to put it on speaker. Normally, you would get that annoying error message that says your call cannot go through. Just take a look at this huge tree. It looks like somebody just plucked it and just threw it to the side. Do you really want to be president, or is this about beating President Trump? Worried the president's controversial comments and recent controversies could alienate swing voters. And that's because it's long been understood that the market house, aka the slave market houses where slaves had been sold. One of our producers telling us that he saw that whole thing unfold, said it sounded like fireworks going off. My question is, how do you train for something like that? Do you starve yourself for a week? Well, first of all, no beachgoers here this morning, and for good reason. Of course, Tropical Storm Arthur now continuing to just kind of crawl around the Carolina coast. Thanks, Steve. I've got my eyes on Friday. That's my birthday, so I'm glad that you brought the good weather. We've got Maverick and Cowboy here. We've got a lot in common. I like gummy bears. They like gummy bears. Look, he's already looking for one.
In less than an hour, families who live at McDougald Terrace and their supporters are holding a rally at the Durham City Council, hoping their stories will now move the council to some kind of action. Morgan Norwood posting on social media about those residents and their needs tonight. Morgan, some of those children actually telling you they really don't want to go back to their homes.
Yeah, they're just terrified to return, Steve, and that's why residents right now gathering to start to rally. They've got the megaphones. You see they have the T-shirts as well. They're calling on Durham City Council to step in and hold DHA accountable.
Bunched up, and it's so many people.
5 people to be exact, all in one room.
How are the sleeping arrangements? You have to share a bed with your brother?
And I hate it.
12-year-old Aaliyah Gray and her 4 family members holed up in a tiny hotel room, packing few clothes and supplies as workers seen today going in and out of homes marked with carbon monoxide concerns.
It's dangerous and it can kill people, so they didn't want anyone to get hurt, so they moved everyone out their building.
Tonight, hundreds of residents spread out in area hotels, some more than 20 minutes away from home and their schools. This morning, DPS sending buses, leaving charter school students like Aaliyah searching for transportation. But school aside, this 12-year-old is worried about surviving.
Because I'm scared to go home, because I feel like it's not cleared out all the way, and I'm scared to go home, and if I do, it's gonna probably be I'm just scared to go back because carbon monoxide get me scared.
With no timetable for their return, the community now collecting diapers, food, and supplies. It all piles up in a pantry headed up by resident activist Ashley Kennedy.
We will be loading up vans and cars today.
And the food, a saving grace for this single dad.
A lot of hope. It shows you that a lot of people out here care. You feel me? It's not just it's just a bad neighborhood, because it's their people.
And back here live, many of the residents you see now plan to voice their concerns inside the Durham City Hall chambers. That meeting starts at 7, but our coverage of this rally begins right now on our Facebook page.
Anya Kelly, like many of you, she did everything right. She's got a college degree. She works hard to support her 3 children, but hard times forced her into a situation that she never thought she would be in. Morgan Norwood has her story tonight.
Public housing has this unfair stigma. It's all crime, that people don't work. We've heard it all, but behind every stereotype, there's a story.
Just stop dismissing us like we're misfit kids.
My story is I came from a domestic violence relationship. I worry all the time. If anybody can hit you when you got a baby in your arms, you're dead. I took the hits and got out of there. And I got out of there, I ain't never looked back. And me and my kids were staying in hotels. And then McDougal came along, and I was like, okay, I can clear my credit. I thought that was like, this is a blessing.
That blessing soon became a burden.
Every day, you got to open up the windows and the doors because it always got that smell to it. I got water leaking from a cabinet that's been there since I've been there. The mold. Let's talk about the sewer system. How every week I got to plunge my tub and my toilet and that black stuff comes up every week. And he telling me that's normal.
I'd imagine you report these things.
Mm-hmm. It's just when you report them, they get done when they get to them. You don't know when maintenance comes in.
These days, Kelly and her family finding themselves back inside hotels.
It feels uncomfortable, but I understand that things are not just as cut and dry as we want them to be.
The same can be said for stereotypes.
Tearing down that stereotype that says people in public housing have a look, or that they don't work, or that, you know, they're not trying.
You really believe that somebody that's sane would actually say, I'm going to pick McDougal Terrace to raise my family, and we're there because of circumstances.
Do you want to go back to McDougal?
Do I want to go back to? No, ma'am.
And then you're gonna be displaced.
I'm already displaced. McDougal was not my final destination. It wasn't then, and it ain't now.
Morgan Norwood reporting, and our thanks to Tanya Kelly as well for helping us really explain some of the curveballs that life has thrown her in this crisis, one of the worst yet.